Half-Life is truly a great series, whether we're talking about the story, gameplay or setting, it's simply the truth. The only downside is that the last time new Half-Life games were coming out frequently was about 15 years ago, and if it weren't for Half-Life Alyx, the series would be becoming more and more forgotten. Fortunately, there have always been and will be great modders, thanks to which Half-Life is still going and continues to entertain its loyal fans. Whether you're one of those loyal fans who enjoys playing a good quality mods, or you're just interested in seeing what the community has been able to create, you're in the right place. In this video, we'll take a look at the best Half-Life 2 mods of all time. Let's begin. First up, I have a mod called MINERVA. In it, you play as a former Overwatch soldier who travels to a small island guarded by Combine. After your deployment, you will be guided by a mysterious entity called MINERVA, from whom you'll be getting text messages with new instructions. With her help, you'll infiltrate a huge underground facility and venture to find out what purpose does it have. Almost the entire mod was developed using only Half-Life textures and models, so you won't stumble upon any new enemies or weapons. Instead, you'll be greeted with amazingly designed map with beautiful environments. The map itself is actually quite small, but because every single corner of it has some sort of a use, it feels huge and realistic. The story is interesting and well written. The only downside for me are the text messages that make you stop quite often to read them. I also had a couple of instances where two messages overlapped at once, and I couldn't read them. But not counting a couple of exceptions, you always have enough time to read them, so it's certainly not anything that ruins the rest of the mod. Thanks to the great work done, the author of this mod, Adam Foster, was employed by Valve and was for example involved in designing the maps in Portal 2. If you won't rush too much, this mod will take you around 2 hours to complete. To run the mod, you need to own Half-Life 2 Episode 1. Next up, I have a mod called Half-Life 2 Year-Long Alarm. It's pretty simple and short mod, which consists of you being found by a Combine scanner in your hideout, and so you must quickly get away from the incoming Combine units. You'll take a look into an abandoned underground mine, where a number of enemies and simple puzzles are awaiting you. The atmosphere is great and so is the environment of the mine. The only downside is that the mod doesn't contain any proper story, and you'll finish it in about half an hour, so I recommend playing on the highest difficulty setting. To run the mod, you need to own Half-Life 2 Episode 2. Next up, I have a mod called Entropy 0. This mod is very unique because you play as a bad guy, more specifically as a metro cop. After your train crashes and all of your partners die, you'll have to escape City 10. The problem, however, is that due to the CFLU epidemic, all the other Combines have already escaped the city, so you'll now have to face all the rebels and zombies alone. You'll of course get to see brand new locations that in the combination with the snow look absolutely amazing. Story-wise, Entropy 0 is doing very well, and most importantly, it's lore-friendly. Instead of interfering with the story of Half-Life 2, it shows us a lot of interesting things about the rebels and the city we are in. Then there's a bunch of other positive changes, like custom soundtrack, improved weapon sounds, night vision instead of flashlight, and increased weapon recoil. The main protagonist can even talk, and every now and then he'll make a comment about what's currently going on. The mod is also significantly harder compared to Half-Life 2 and is definitely suitable for people looking for a challenge. The playtime is around 3 hours, and to run the mod you need to own both Half-Life 2 and its episodes. Next up, I probably cheated a little bit, because this mod was also released as a standalone game on Steam. But you can still tell that Half-Life 2 is the base for it, so I included it here. I'm talking about Transmissions Element 120. Again, it's a relatively short mod, but it still brought big changes to the gameplay. The biggest one of them is the new and improved version of the gravity gun, which allows you to jump much higher. What I also like about this mod is the little compass at the bottom of the screen, where you can see ammo, medkits and so on. The story here isn't that rich. After starting new game, we don't even know where we are or why we're here. We don't even encounter any friendly characters who could tell us something. The only way to at least partially learn new info is via journals scattered across the whole map. On the other hand, the atmosphere is a lot darker thanks to this, and combined with the mysterious environment, it even feels slightly horrific. The author himself recommends to play this mod in the dark. You'll finish it in about 50 minutes, and as I've already mentioned, you don't need to own any Half-Life to run it. And lastly, I have mission Improbable. In it, you'll travel to a resistance listening post that has gone off air, and you're tasked with finding out what happened and getting the station back online. Gameplay wise, the mod doesn't bring anything new, but you'll visit a beautiful countryside environment, where you'll of course encounter a bunch of zombies and combines, and you'll also be solving simple puzzles. The strongest aspect of this mod is undoubtedly the beautiful map, which is created using brand new models and textures. In addition, you'll also meet a new character and take a look inside the hidden Combine stronghold. The mod also contains a few dialogues, but otherwise the story is pretty simple and straightforward. You'll finish it in about an hour, and to run it you need to own Half-Life 2 Episode 2. And that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like or subscribing. You can find all the mods in the description below, so you can try them yourself. And until next time, bye.